The xenobiology lab fell silent as Professor Zixter. Crystalline forms shimmered with what the translator rendered as anticipatory excitement. 23 students from across the Galactic Confederation sat at their observation stations, their various appendages poised over datapads. All eyes, stalks, and sensory organs were locked on the reinforced containment field at the center of the room. Well, all except one pair of human eyes. Marcus Chun, the lone human in the Advanced Predator Studies program, was busy tightening the straps on his protective vest. Professor Zixter's melodious voice chimed through the lab. "Student Chun, you misunderstand the assignment. You are to observe the Vorthen render from a safe distance and document its hunting patterns, not." The professor's color shifted to an alarmed violet. "Enter its enclosure." Marcus looked up with that peculiar expression humans called a grin. "Prof, back on Earth. My final grade in marine biology required hands-on interaction with a great white shark. This is basically the same thing, right?" Just then, the Vorthen render chose to slam its entire body against the containment field. Its 6-meter frame rippled with a bioluminescent fury. Rows of crystalline fangs gnashed at the energy barrier, and its 4 eyes locked onto Marcus with pure predatory focus. This creature had hunted sentient species to extinction on 2 separate worlds before the Confederation had managed to capture the last few specimens. Zixer's form flickered through a series of colors the translator couldn't even process. A shark is a Class 3 predator from a standard gravity world. The render is classified as extinction level. It possesses strength sufficient to tear through starship hull plating. "Yeah, but sharks are way more aggressive in their own territory," Marcus said, pulling on a pair of reinforced gloves. "Trust me, I've got this." The other students began backing away from their stations. Tulara, a methane-breathing Sivian, frantically activated her species emergency beacon. Quinn Savan, a synthetic consciousness, began rapidly backing up his core files to the station network, just in case. "This is insane," whispered Ven, a 4-armed Kelser who had become Marcus's closest friend. "Humans are mad. Utterly, completely mad." Marcus stepped toward the containment field controls, a picture of calm. "My thesis is about understanding predator behavior through direct interaction. Can't exactly do that from behind a force field." He looked back at his classmates with a confidence that bordered on unsettling. "Besides, Earth's basically a Class 12 death world. I grew up with this stuff. Before Professor Zixter could even think to override the system, Marcus deactivated a section of the field and stepped through. The Vorthen render lunged immediately, crossing the distance in a blur of muscle and rage. Students screamed in 17 different languages, then squeezed all 4 of his eyes shut, unable to watch. But Marcus had already moved. With reflexes honed on a high-gravity planet where literally everything evolved to kill you, he sidestepped the charge and grabbed the creature's leading limb. Using the render's own incredible momentum, he pivoted and redirected the beast straight into the padded wall of the enclosure. The impact was deafening. The creature roared, a sound so powerful it shattered 3 observation screens. It spun around and attacked again, claws extended, ready to tear him apart. Marcus ducked, weaved, and actually laughed. It was that terrifying sound Deathworlders made when experiencing something they called an adrenaline rush. For the next 10 minutes, the entire lab watched in horrified fascination as the lone human engaged in what he would later describe as Agresi, Tagwitega, Galaxy S, most feared predator. He didn't try to harm the creature. Instead, he simply established dominance through sheer speed, perfect timing, and an apparently insane lack of self-preservation instinct. Then, the impossible happened. The Vorthen render sat down. Its pupils dilated, and it made a low, rumbling sound that the translator identified as submission/confusion. Marcus, breathing heavily, casually walked over and started scratching it behind its auditory ridge. "Good boy," he panted. "See? Just needed to establish some boundaries." He emerged from the enclosure 10 minutes later, covered in bioluminescent mucus but otherwise completely unharmed. His datapad full of behavioral observations no scientist had ever managed to record. Professor Zixter cycled through a rainbow of colors, representing every emotion simultaneously. How Why? What? Marcus just shrugged, that infuriating human gesture. On Earth, we call it applied learning. Also, I think I'm going to fail your written exam, so I really needed the extra credit. Later that night, Ven wrote in his personal log, "Today I understood why the galaxy fears death. It's not because they're violent. It's because they approach violence like a homework assignment with casual confidence and terrifying competence. And that is how one human student reminded the galaxy that when you grow up on a planet that is constantly trying to kill you, your definition of dangerous is just a little bit different." Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more Tales from the Stars.